Good morning, everyone. So, as you probably saw in the email, this morning's mystic is Mary. And obviously, that's a person that every every group within Christianity claims and can claim and uh, takes hold on in some way, shape, or form. So, certainly, the Carmelite claim to Mary is not one that's trying to be exclusive in any way, shape, or form. However, there is something significant about the Carmelites and their relationship to Mary because Mary is considered the co founder of Carmel. So, while many groups will claim a certain devotion to even a specific image of Mary or a specific quality of Mary, the Carmelites actually say, well, Mary's one of our founders, Mary and Elijah. And so that puts her in a particularly unique place with Carmelites. And if you were listened to or were on the talk when we went into the rule, you'll see that it was in 1250, which is less than 50 years after the founding of the Carmelites, that she appeared and said she had a special devotion for the order and gave the order its scapular, its miraculous scapular. So, my interest, however, is less towards some of these historical references and a little bit more to what could it possibly mean? What could it possibly import for Mary to be a founder, for that presence to be something of the founding of a group that's still going strong after quite a number of years. And I would like to invite you on this short reflection and maybe through the day is take a look and I have no doubt that in some way, shape, or form, Mary has some influence in your own life. There's something that when you hear a reference to this person that we believe lived and believed was the mother of Jesus and believed had a level of purity that was unsurpassed. So, in relation to this person, I'm sure that there is something it evokes in you. And I would like to invite you to open up that relationship in its most boundless sense. I have found in my own life that my experience of Mary has been quite influential from the heavenly maternal sense in my young years to feeling her to be a friend and a mystic. When I was a young girl, I had this little statue of Mary, and I remember even one time putting it on top of our garbage cans with the lids and getting some of my girlfriends together, none of whom were Catholic, but they lived on the street. And we made up dances to dance for Mary. So she's been a huge part of my life. But in that relationship, the experience of her has shifted and grown and changed. And when it was specifically Catholic, the experience of visions, the experience of, I've had many mystical experiences where the fragrance would just come out of me when I would be saying words that are Marian prayers in certain ways. And and from there has shifted even broader to the divine feminine, to a certain goddess energy, and even finding correlations in other traditions. I did a wonderful cross comparison as one of my theses with her and Avalokiteshvara, which is a bodhisattva, but also considered a Buddha presence and popularly known more as Kuan Yin, but has its roots more in the Buddha nature. and finding that there's a resonance between the Mary presence and Avalokiteshvara very deeply. So my reason for giving kind of these various lights in my own relationship with Mary is to invite you into an active engagement and inquiry in your own relationship with this person. And it doesn't even have to remain as this historical anchor point of what she was or what she did or what she bore, but the broader sense of here's an individual that is said to have embodied God, that was the God bearer, Theotokos, that was pregnant with the word, pregnant. And how might we be called to be pregnant just like this? How might we be called to be Theotokos in our everyday life? So allow this reflection to kind of take you a little bit on that journey with Mary. As much as I have from time to time referred to her as one of my best friends, I also stand very much in the unknown in my relationship with her. As I continue to grow and change, it always seems to be a question of, okay, who are you for me now? Who am I for you now? It remains incredibly active and as unknown as it is known. So today's words are actually going to be my own. I was Carmelite, so I can kind of fit in our realm. Been drawing upon some really awesome mystics. And these two short poems, I have ones that I think I like better, but there's a reason they popped out at me. They were written within my first year of having joined the monastery. So I was very young. And my experience of Mary at that time was ignited and deepened through an icon that this is my icon, but an icon that was very similar to this. And there was this is sweet kissing. This is a tenderness between those two. And the passage that we find in the New Testament jumped and awakened within me. We possess the prophetic message as something altogether reliable. Keep your attention fixed upon it as you would on a lamp in a dark place until the morning star rises and the dawn awakens in your own heart. There was simultaneously a looking towards and yet a propelling within that image in my relationship with Mary took on a new capacity and a new dimension. And that interiority is fertile and live and active. This, I think it's an erroneous stereotype we get of the experience of Mary as being this passive, receptive, like this. I think this is referred to because this is me, so take it with a grain of salt. This is referred to so often in iconography, so often the images, not to diminish the power of this presence, but rather to show the source of her power. And that source was that she was wholly awakened into the God presence at her center. Pondering everything within her heart was not simply a reclusive movement. It was a shining light on where all of the illumination can truly be found. And she represents that in the wholeness of her being, from which the world is changed, from which all our action steps come, from which we become fires, salt of the earth, light of the world, personages. So, with that, I invite you to close your eyes. And once again, form circle. We join in spirit in the circle that we have created every day, knowing that we are fellow sojourners and brothers and sisters along the path. And we invite all the Carmelites in that have walked with us so far. Each one, Brother Lawrence, Mary of Jesus Crucified, Teresa Margaret Redding, Mary Magdalene de Pazzi, Titus Brandsma, Edith Stein, Therese, John, Teresa, Elijah, and all the Carmelites known and unknown to us. We invite them in as well. We invite in all our ancestors, loved ones, spiritual friends and guides, shamans, all those who walk with us on our journey, known and unknown. And we invite in Mary. Ave Maria, Stella Dei Mater Alma, Arque Semper Virgo, Felix Celi Porta, Sumens illud Ave, Gabrielis ore, funda nos in pace, mutans eve nomen. Salve vinclareis, provelum enchegis, mala nostra pele, bona cuncta posce. Monstra te esse matrem, summa te preces, qui pro nobis status, tulit esse tu. Virgo singularis, inter omnes mitis, nos culpis solutos, mites facet castos. Vitam presta puram, iter para tutum, ut fidentes Iesu, semper coletemur. Sit laus Deo Patri, sumo Christo Decus, Spiritui Sancto, tribus honor unus. Mary, bring me your sweetness. With your love, my soul caress. Safely hidden, no fruit forbidden. In your womb, I'm born again. Spirit, darkness ever glowing, into my being deeply flowing. Your desires engender loving surrender. In your arms, I'm born again. Little heart swiftly beating, for me to come to sacred meeting. Carry me there, everything share. In you I am born again. Treasure found in unfinding, abasing much is surer binding. Hidden divinity, love me freely, and I shall be born again. Lost forever and evermore, born again. We allow the presence of this divine one to guide us in our moments of silence. Mary, you are more delightful than the dew-glistening webs adorning the morning, more beautiful than the virgin rose opening its petals to the world. more glorious than the sky studded with stars in the dark of night, more graceful than the drifts of snow formed by the hand of the wind. And though creation bears us God, it is a fading shadow in the light of you. O Lady, Spirit-filled, bear us God. Do not take your glance from the Eternal One, but let the love of your union blow into our souls and carry them. O House of Wisdom, be our cell, and there let us be wholly taken into the utterance of God, poured forth as ceaseless adoration. And if you will, if you desire, allow Mary, in the fullness of what that presence is, stand before you and allow her, in the way that your soul calls forth, to bless you, to blow spirit into your being, to offer you solace, wisdom, comfort. And in that blessing, we all begin our day. I invite you, when you're ready, to open your eyes. Blessings, my friends.